Okay, state your name and rank, please.
My name is Sullivan Caldwell. My rank is Warrant Officer First Class of the ADF, Australian Defence Force.
hmm What does it mean to be a part of the AN for you?
Well, being a part of the AN means more than just a job. Many people might join the army or join the military for employment. I joined so I could help people. There are people out here who need help. They are suffering because some groups out there deem them unworthy or inhospitable. So
Mm.
we have been sent to help. So that's what the AN means to me. It means a helpful force.
Why did you decide to join the AN?
Well, as I mentioned before, I was with the ADF, Australian Defence Force. Spent a couple of years there, achieved a high rank. And then I got a calling, I think. I spent too long there. We didn't do much. We didn't do much in help. And I saw saw how the world was cracked apart, and I thought I would try and fix it. Even
Mm.
if it's only me, I'll still try and help. So that's why I joined the AN, and I've been put in charge of a squadron here in Dolina, the peacekeeping forces here.
Do you agree with the CDF and their tactics of warfare?
Well, the CDF are something, definitely. They're definitely superior to their counterparts with the NSC. The NSC are something, but the CDF, I don't agree with everything they do. They're a bit unorthodox, but I do believe their mission is pure in the fact that they do want the best for New South Segoria. It's just I don't know if they're going about it the best way.
Mm. Do you think the attacks in New York by the NSC were justified?
Not at all. Not at all. I could ever, only way I could ever, no, I can't justify it. The fact that innocent people died, men, women, and children. The fact that children have died in those attacks, innocent children, innocent women.
Mm.
No right is justified. It was cruel. To prove a point that you want to be free, it could be done way in far superior ways. And the fact that they did that was disgusting. And that's why that's another reason why we've been sent here to ensure that that can be reported and anything like that will be dealt with
Mm.
accordingly.
Do you think the introduction of the AN was necessary in this conflict?
Of course, it was necessary. The people here need our help. They are suffering and they are starving, and so we are here to help them. I want all of them. I want every single individual in this country to know that we are here to help.
How do you feel about the NSC and their tactics of warfare?
Then to see a cruel, they are terrorists and they are rebels. I can understand why they would want freedom, but the fact is, how they're going about it is not right. They use suicide and they use civilians to gain their own, and it's cruel, and they have no sympathy. And the fact is, that's just not right, and that CDF needs to destroy them.
Mm. Now, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Dolina was actually a town occupied by the NSC who had civilian presence in it and who they did not kill and gave shelter to. And the CDF pushed all the NSC out and pushed the civilians out. Do you think that was a smart decision by the CDF or more of a dumb decision?
Well, as I mentioned before, the CDF, I don't agree with completely everything they've done, but can you see that the type of individual to agree with the NSZ's mission? You can see what type of individual that is.
Mm.
That's what's concerning. We don't want martyrs to this cause. We don't want people pretending to be civilians and then they end up blowing themselves up, taking 50 others with them.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes drastic actions need to be taken to ensure the safety of many others.
Who do you believe will win this conflict?
I wholeheartedly believe the CDF will win with the help of the national community alongside the AN. They've got
Mm-hmm.
undenying support from all around them, and the fact is, NSC will be crushed.
Mm. Do you think the terrorist attack in Novo was justified by the NSC?
Of course not. Again, innocent people died. They might have been politicians, but they still were innocent in some way. They still were defenseless, and they kept them hostage in that building, and they forced them into dirty games,
Mm.
and they killed them for no reason. To prove a point again, they use innocent blood to prove their points, or they use blood to prove their points.
Do you agree with the idea that the NSC are the oppressed and the CDF are the oppressors?
In some way, I wouldn't say the NSC, but I would say South Segoria. Now, what I'm saying is controversial. I have my takes on how the government, how the CDF acted with South Segoria and how they neglected it. And it is in that building, and they forced them into dirty games,
Mm.
and they killed them for no reason. To prove a point again, they use innocent blood to prove their points, or they use blood to prove their points.
Do you agree with the idea that the NSC are the oppressed and the CDF are the oppressors?
In some way, I wouldn't say the NSC, but I would say South Segoria. Now, what I'm saying is controversial. I have my takes on how the government, how the CDF acted with South Segoria and how they neglected it. And it is true they did. But, yet again, that doesn't mean that I wouldn't claim now the NSC aren't oppressed. Quite opposite. They oppress the people of this country. Now, the CDF, again, they're just trying to fight for the safety of their people as well.
Mm.
So once, maybe yes, but no more.
Do you believe the AN will ever take a combative role against either the CDF or the NSC?
I can't predict the future. That relies to whoever's in control,
Mm.
as in our father. But what I can tell you is a guess. And if how bad things are right now, and they don't get any better, I believe we may have to introduce a combative role for the
Mm.
AN peacekeepers. And I
It,
hope not. Best case scenario, that doesn't happen.
mhm.
But I'm not stupid.
If you could tell the world anything about this conflict, what would you tell them?
What will I tell them? Well, all conflicts in some way are the same. They all are just men fighting against men. This conflict is a bit different though because it's brothers fighting against brothers. There's a rebellion. It's a civil war, and it's sad to see. And I hope that everyone who's watching or everyone who's listening will provide their support for the people of this country and will donate whatever they can and they support however they can because these people are suffering. And I
Mm.
say that to all conflicts and to all people who listen to this. And I thank you for those who have.
Do you think the U.S.'s withdrawal from the combat was good or bad?
I think it was bad. I'm not American, as you can tell, but
Mm.
sometimes I reckon that American support could be vital right now, but we will have to make do about it and wish upon more national community members to help.
Mm.
And right now, we just have to deal with the fact that the United States have withdrawn, and it's sad. I wish they didn't, but that's just how it is. And they're not likely to come back anytime soon, at least.
Mm. Going back to sort of the NSC and their tactics, do you think that the NSC playing on fear is a big part of the AN's decision to stay neutral?
No, not at all. We're not afraid of the NSC by any means. We're not afraid. By no means, I mean. We're not scared of what they do. We're not scared of because they're just wolves in sheep's clothing, or actually vice versa, more like it. They're just scared. And so we're not afraid. Our neutrality purely comes from our guidelines. Is that the fact is, we don't give. I was going to. We don't care who is in this political conflict. We care about the civilians and the people who are stuck in the middle.
Well,
And so we're not scared of the NSC.
okay. Well, that about wraps up my questions. Do you have any closing remarks you'd like to give?
Not really. I appreciate everyone who listens to this, and I hope everyone sleeps tight and make sure to know that there are people out there helping, and I hope you also help.
All right. With that, this interview is over with.
How is that, Mr. Hesh?
That was good. That was good.